Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to sunny San Diego, where we have your San Diego Aces taking on the Philadelphia Cougars. These Aces are coming off of their very first away victory in their franchise's history, while the Cougars try and wipe the sweat off their brow after what was a very rough loss against the Oregon Waves last week, where they got pummeled into the ground by that rushing attack. Like I said, welcome in. I'm DJ Kilgannon. With me in the booth is the Charles Doherty, the reigning, defending analyst of the season for the SFLm. Charles, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing great. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I mean, Philadelphia, they had a tough match last week, and now they got to go on the road into San Diego. San Diego is firing on all cylinders, and they just got to take it up a notch. And I can't wait to see what Philadelphia's game plan is to try and overcome the San Diego Aces upstart team. I'm ready for it. It's a great game. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Let's get some football going.
Absolutely, folks. I hope you are wearing your green, because I am. None of these teams are, however, but San Diego is repping some new unis out there, all black with the purple helmets. Very nice to see that from them. Their beautiful end zone as always. I love playing here in sunny San Diego because we always get some good football. Great. 5. Let's take a look at this San Diego offense. This Philadelphia offense led by the quarterback Thomas Rahman, Michael Reno and Thomas Jones, the halfbacks, Mike Allstott, the fullback, Terry Money, King Alexander, Joe Juravicius, and Keyshawn Johnson are their wide receivers. Their tight ends are Ken Dilliger, Ricky Dudley, and their offensive line of Kenyatta Walker, Cozy Coleman, John Wade, Kerry Jenkins, and Roman Oben. Going to be protecting Thomas Rahman up front as they come out in a single back bunch to the top side of the screen. Terry Money will motion, however, making it 2 to each side. We'll start with a run right up the middle. A broken tackle leads to another one quickly after for a gain of 2 there.
I'm excited to see what we see out of Rahman tonight, the quarterback for Philadelphia. Last week, he showed a lot. I mean, nice, accurate passes, composure in the pocket. Didn't get the win, but hopefully he can build on last week, and we can see a little bit more of that action tonight.
Run up the middle once again, gets met quickly past the line of scrimmage for a 3-yard gain. San Diego swarming to the ball so far.
Oh, definitely. I mean, San Diego's got to do that. They got to put pressure on Rahman. They got to shut down that run and make the quarterback make a mistake.
Offset single back here for the Cougars. Nickel defense faces them. Rahman fires that one over the middle into a sea of Aces defenders. And that one's going to fall incomplete. Turnover on downs already, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, last week we saw Rahman. He's confident in his arm. I mean, he'll try and fit it into a keyhole, and tried it on that one with multiple defenders there. Didn't work out. He's going to try it again. That's what we love about Rahman. He doesn't get shaken. He'll do it again, and he'll stand in there, and we'll see it all night.
Very persistent, you could say. He doesn't go away very quietly, as that punt is going to get caught at the 35. Quickly being brought down is Nate Burleson for the Aces. San Diego, like we had said, picked up their first road win of the team's career last week in a very tight game against the New York Gargoyles. And that was an exciting one to watch. I actually just watched it back earlier today, watching that last fourth quarter. It was very exciting. We're going to start this one with a run up the middle. A ton of room to run. That's going to result in a big gain of 9 there from Michael Bennett.
They've got Michael Bennett and Chapman as their halfbacks. Want to see how they use Joe Duncan, also known as Jolton Joe, in the offense. He's the fullback. He is a contract fullback. Want to see what kind of action he gets in the game tonight.
He was their bell cow last week. Had one of the best runs I've ever seen on the goal line. Broke 3 tackles to be able to punch his way into the end zone. But nowhere to go on that run. Joe Duncan gets stuck behind a block, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2.
Yeah, I think that was Shelton Quarles, the inside linebacker on that one, number 53. Just read it from the snap and shut it down.
I form here, a very heavy set look for the Aces. Looks like 8 in the box for Philadelphia. They're ready for something up the middle. They will get it right up the middle. Joe Duncan doesn't care. He fights ahead a few yards short of the 50.
There you go. Get Joltin' Joe involved. And here's, for an offensive lineman who put that faith in you on third down, a key third down, you're going to run it up the middle, and we're relying on you to do that block. They did it. They executed on it, and they're just building on it. That's a heck of a way to build momentum for an offense.
Backup fullback Jim Kleinsaucer with a terrific block to set that up. Another eye for him again. This time Joe Duncan is at the fullback spot, and they'll give it to him right up the middle once again. That's going to be a gain of 3 before he stopped. Let's look at this Aces offense while we have a second. Their lead, Sheriff under center, that's Eden Lovelace. Their backs, Michael Bennett and Doug Chapman. Fullback, Joltin' Joe Duncan. Wide receivers are Randy Moss, Derek Alexander, Nate Burleson, and Dwayne Bates. We'll get to the rest of that offense after this play. Very similar look as the last here, and it'll be another run up the middle. Joe Duncan will break a handful of tackles there before getting a handful of yards before he's brought down. That's 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. I want to see what Philadelphia decides to put on the table here. Do they want to just kind of settle in on coverage, or they want to turn up the heat and put some pressure on Eden Lovelace? I hope they try and pressure.
Set eye here. It doesn't look like it initially. Just the original 4. Lovelace will roll out to the left a ton of time, fires across her body, and that one's caught. 2 defenders in the area, but it doesn't matter. Derek Alexander pulls it in all the same.
They didn't blitz, like you said. The pocket was held tight, gave Eden Lovelace enough time to go through the progressions and hit Derek Alexander on the route right in stride, and they're looking at a 1st and 10.
Tight ends Jeff Kostrewa and Hunter Goodwin. Offset eye here for the Aces. They're going to pitch that out to Joe Duncan, who barrels over a defender, breaks another tackle, stays in bounds, and picks up the 1st down against all odds.
So in order to make that work, DJ, not only do you have to have a talented back in the backfield like Duncan, but you have to have precise and strong blocking on the edge to set that up. And we saw all of that on that play, and they're looking at a 1st down.
It didn't look like it would gain much, but Joe Duncan turns nothing into something really quickly there. He's in the backfield again. Some motion from Philly's defense here. Quick throw from Lovelace. Tries to thread the needle between 2 defenders, but hits one of them. That's Brian Kelly, who gets awarded a PD.
I was talking about Rahman and his fearlessness and throwing it into coverage. We saw a little bit of that in Lovelace. Tried to fit it in between 2 defenders, and just not enough to get a completion.
Offset on here. That's 8 in the box again for Philly. On to the left side, Joe Duncan fights through some tacklers. He gains 6.
Good run and good play call as well. I mean, you're at the part of the field where you don't have a lot of real estate to do those exotic pass routes. You just got to, rely on good running, good blocking, and good short, crisp route running.
He was a huge part of their offense last week in their win, and he's looking like we're going to see that same story today. There's another I-form formation here. They'll pass out of it this time, though. Lovelace quickly throws to the hitch route, and that one hits the ground. Very tight coverage. That's 4th down.
I thought Goodwin had that, the tight end, right in the midst. You got to pull those in. If you want to walk away with the W, that's a key opportunity for you to capitalize on. And on that one, they did not. Now they're looking at a field goal.
23-yard attempt on that 11-play drive, and that one is good right down the middle. From Bill Gramatica. Great drive there, Charles, especially with how the pace of how their offense is seeming to want to play. Heavy run attack. That's a good first drive for them.
Definitely. I mean, early in the game, going down the field, putting points on the board, be it a field goal or a touchdown, it's good. I mean, you can't hate on yourself if you don't get 7. You're just putting on the points, and you're putting the pressure on Philadelphia to respond.
Philadelphia going to have another shot on offense here. What a stiff arm. And that one's out to the 36. The 3 kicks we've had today start from the 36, 35, and 34. all around the same area of the field. Joe Juravicius on the return, a very nice one. San Diego's defense comes onto the field, led by that defensive line of Willie Howard, Chuck Wiley, and Storm Johnson, along with Kevin Williams, their linebackers, Chris Claiborne, Nick Rogers, and Horizon Breeze, who had a fantastic game last week, expecting big things from Breeze. Single back here, they'll kick a receiver over to make it 3 to the bottom side of your screen. We'll go right up the middle. A nice spin move results in a gain of 7 there.
Yeah, nice blocking up front there for Reno. I mean, what a heck of a hole there for him to run through. You know, it started off at the snap. It just looked like a crisp play from the beginning. The offensive line just set up that running back for success.
The run here. Oh, bounces it to the outside. There's a bunch of room. Thomas Jones with the stiff arm still going. That's a huge first down for Philadelphia, and they're certainly gaining some momentum here, Charles.
Oh, definitely momentum. And that offensive line is setting this tone for this offense. I mean, they're right off the snap, they're just like exploding into the defense and just, dominating. Now, just setting it and the edge, setting the middle, enough for the running backs to be successful, be it in the middle or through the outside.
Nickel for San Diego here as they run it up the middle. Nice lead block, and man, isn't even touched until the safety gets there. Michael Reno gets a gain of 9 on that run.
Yeah, I think that was a first down, but, look, it's early in the game. The refs are just kind of, trying to get into their momentum as well, but not the best spot, I think.
Very heavy set defensive front here for San Diego. Right to do so, Philadelphia. Thomas Jones will get it right up the middle. Let's look at the rest of this defense for San Diego. E.J. Henderson is the other linebacker. Denard Walker, Ken Irvin, and Brian Williams, your corners. Brian Russell, Corey Chavis, and Tony Tomlinson going to be your defensive backcourt here for the Aces. Once again, 3 receivers for Rahman. 2 to the bottom side of your screen against this nickel look of San Diego with another run to boot. Michael Reno gains 5 on that run.
Back-to-back runs by Philadelphia where we saw great blocking at the snap. I mean, it's something to build on. They are executing their playbook so far, to a T, and that's what you need, on the road at San Diego.
Absolutely is some motion here in the backfield. That's Allstott kicking out to Rahman's right. And they hand it off that way. Jones gets met in the backfield by Horizon Breeze. What a way to bounce onto the scene after a quiet first drive.
Yeah, as soon as I say that, Horizon Breeze just, lowered the sunset on the offense of Philadelphia.
Yeah, like you said, Breeze had a phenomenal game last week. John Campbell's golden jacket for his defensive performance. Certainly going to be a pass here. Rahman, ton of time, fires it over the middle. Oh! Nearly picked off. You got to have sure hands there. Brian Russell tips it twice and drops it on the attempted pass to Terry Money.
It's 4th down. They're forcing them to, looks like they're probably going to go for a field goal on this one. But just like last game, DJ, I mean, we talked about the defenders not being able to pull in the ball. I mean, hopefully we don't see a lot of that tonight.
It is up for Philadelphia, not even a question. That's Martin Gramatica. A pair of Gramatica kickers here in this game, and Martin is the second of them to score. Only Gramatica points so far in this game, but now that those drives have subsided for both of these teams, Charles, both similar drives, really, who do you think is going to be able to get more momentum out of it?
I mean, right now I think it's, right down the middle. I think both offensive lines are have the advantage against the defense. And I'm looking for one of the defenses to kind of stand up, do something to disrupt the flow, disrupt the timing of the offense.
Completely agree with you there. Like you said, very similar styles from both of these teams. It felt like San Diego was a little quicker in their drive than Philadelphia's, but Philadelphia a lot more balanced, right?
Yeah, and
backs
go ahead.
4 carries.
Yeah, it looked like Philadelphia had a little bit more yards per play, and we saw on the San Diego side.
Yeah, I completely agree. San Diego gonna pass. First thing, Lovelace connects with the curl route. That's 7 yards there for Jeff Costrewa.
Yeah, I mean, not the most exciting play we're going to see tonight, but it was what we saw was Lovelace standing in the pocket against a blitz, very composed, and was just able to dump it off to Ostrewa, and we're looking at a decent gain of 7.
We'll pitch that one. What a stiff arm and some great blocks. A lot of room to go up the sideline. Oh my goodness, what a run inside the 25 there.
I mean, that was a statement run there by Bennett on the edge. It was set by blocking, and but from that point forward, once he got past that line of scrimmage, it was all Bennett, his running ability, his strength. Look at that power.
Oh.
Just sent him down into the graveyard, and we just kept running and got extra yards. Huge gain, huge way to build momentum for an offense.
Yeah, I mean, that one looked like it was going to be a 5-yard gain, maybe. But Bennett able to explode it into a 25-yard carry. That puts them just outside the SFLm red zone. Great display by the offensive line so far. That one, another fullback dive right up the middle. They love getting their fullbacks involved. That's Kleinsaucer who got the carry.
I mean, like I said, both of these offensive lines are just really having their way with the defense, and I'm waiting for one of them to step up, one of the defenses to step up and kind of make a stand.
A ton of people in the box here for this up the middle run. Joe Duncan kind of bounces off his first defender and then gets wrangled down well into the red zone now with that first down.
I love it that, I mean, you got to have Duncan involved. I mean, obviously he's a contract player on the offense, and love it that they're able to get him the touches. It shows that the coaches on offense know what they need to do that, get him the touches to make success on the field.
Another run here right up the middle. Gonna get wrangled down after a few yards there. This offensive line for San Diego, Marcus Buss playing down from Miami, David Dixon, Matt Burke, Chris Levensky, and Bryant McKinney, the ones blocking up front in the trenches today, and they're doing a pretty good job, I'd say. The rifle and look as the time ticks away. They love running in between the tackles, and that's exactly why. Duncan will roll down inside the 2-yard line there on third down.
So far, a very impressive drive by San Diego. I mean, running, not a lot of passing, but just effective execution of the playbook, and now they're looking at 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they're maintaining ahead of the chains very nicely. Duncan gets met by a wall. Derek Brooks stops him in his tracks, and as the quarter ends, so does this drive for San Diego with that 3rd down.
That was a big time tackle there by Derek Brooks.
Welcome back here, folks, to San Diego. I'm DJ Kilgannon. With me in the booth is Charles Doherty, my analyst for the evening. Thank you to our statisticians, Justin Reside and Eddie Gage, as well as our executive director, Alex West, in the truck, making everything happen, as well as our commissioner, Ellie Diomas, there as well. And J.W. Hartshorn as well.
DJ, did Eddie made it?
He did.
Because we got a call that his limo driver was a little late.
See, he was
Get him
a little
home.
late. You know, he called me right before the game.
Yeah.
They blew a tire. Eddie had to hop out and change it. There was a guy, he was walking down the road shirtless, so Eddie gave him his shirt as well. And then they were still able to make it. He squeezed in right as we started the game. So.
I also know he insists on having an Escalade for his limo.
That's right. That's right.
And they had to switch it, so that added a little time. But he got it. I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
And now I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, he actually did bring the limo. They went to a Chevy lot and bought an Escalade right there on the spot.
Nice. That's what Eddie does.
Presidential package. That's just this kind of guy he is. He took it out of my salary, bought the new Escalade, and now here we are. But more importantly, Philadelphia is going to have this one starting at the 43 at the start of this second quarter. Offset single back here for the Cougars. A few receivers that way as well. Wouldn't be surprised if they pitched it that way. They won't. They'll hand it up the middle. Reno is going to fight through a couple tacklers and get skinny. A gain of 6 there after all his efforts.
Yeah, I mean that's a good first down run, and that's something to the quarterback loves it when he's facing a 2nd and 4. So many options for him, and not a lot of pressure on him. I mean, there's always pressure on the quarterback, but not so much when you're at 2nd and 4.
Offset I here, give it to the fullback. Olstad will charge ahead. Breeze meets him after a gain of 1.
We're looking at a 3rd down here, DJ. I don't think Thomas Rahman has had a completion, so let's see if he gets his first completion tonight here on 3rd and 3.
I believe you're right, my friend. I'm interested to see if they run it, especially with that shift from the defensive line. They're certainly expecting a run that way. Let's see if Philly changes things up right here on the 50. Rahman taking his time right up the middle. Oh, I think he's short. He is.
It is.
Oh, man. Huge stop there by Rodgers and company.
And Rodgers was just able to use his strength and turn the runner away. They're challenging it. I don't think he got it, but I think the strength there, Rodgers was able to pull him away from the chains to make the first down. I think he's short.
I completely agree with you. I think the initial call was the correct call. And Charles, I'll be honest, I don't normally think that, so I guess we'll get another look here.
Look how he turns it around right at the. Ooh.
I think you're right. That was Horizon Breeze who made the second contact to push him back.
Really to see.
Huge heads-up play.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see the spot of the ball. Their official decision is final. So let's see. It is overturned. They may call it inches. I think they'll call it inches. I think it was definitely short of the first down, though.
I mean,
yeah, they will.
Okay.
Philadelphia will keep a timeout, but it's not a first down. So
here we go.
They will go for it, though. They gave him enough moxie to risk going for it. Right up the middle to Olstad. Oh! Right at the line. Did they call it forward?
Yeah, he got it.
Wow, they did. Oh, narrowly. I love the risky decision-making. But that one could have ended poorly, but they got it. That's all that matters. Single back here for Philadelphia. They'll run it again. Reno, he gets 3 after the hard hit.
So 2nd and 7. Now's a perfect time to do a play action. And let's see what Rahman can do mid-long range on a pass standpoint.
Rahman has only thrown the ball twice in this game. I believe this is their 3rd drive for Philadelphia. There's going to be another run. Thomas Jones will get wrangled down. They'll call it 3rd and 3. Horizon Breeze all over the field right now, Charles.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of run out of Philly, but which is okay. I mean, they're executing so far. 3rd and 3 is not a bad spot to be in.
Looks like they're set up for another run here. Single receiver to each side of the ball for Thomas Rahman. They'll motion the fullback over. Excuse me, that's Ken Dilger making it strong side. Delayed handoff right up the middle. Reno will barrel over the defender comfortably past the first down marker.
That was just strength. I mean, Reno locked up with Rodgers on that one and just kept moving the legs, moving the feet, and just was able to power past the chains.
Empty set here. We will see a throw.
Here we go.
Left side. That one's caught. He high points the pass over the defenders, and Joe Juravicius pulls it down.
Vicious had a lot of action last week and a lot of catches in coverage, and we saw it on that one. Rahman has no fear whatsoever. Doesn't matter if there's 2 defenders, 3 defenders. If he sees the hole, he's going to throw for it. We saw it on that play, and we're looking at a great pass downfield and a big-time first down.
First completion of the day for Rahman and company, and it gave them a little bit of confidence because they're coming with an empty look once again inside the SFLm red zone. Rahman, plenty of time, fires it to the left. That one's caught.
Wow.
Again, tight coverage doesn't matter. King Alexander is able to pull that one in.
And King Alexander ran down past the chains and just turned around where his body was facing the quarterback and body was facing the pass route, and it hit him right in the numbers and made it really difficult for the defender to do anything. Real smart route running there by Alexander.
Bernard Walker with the tight coverage there, but to no avail, like you said. Just better receiver play from Alexander. Very heavy set front here for San Diego, expecting that run up the middle again. They will get it and strangled down quickly. That's Reno. Might have gained a yard, if any.
Yeah, let's see what the Aces have dialed up here on the 2nd and goal. Let's see what they can do to shut it down. The offensive line has had their way so far on this drive.
They have, my friend. But that run up the middle hasn't worked too well, and they're going to keep going back to it. Thomas Jones get it, bounces off a tackle, and then gets brought down. That's a gain of 1 again.
Yeah, gain of 1, and a lot of credit there. Horizon Breeze just you got it, slowed it down at the beginning and waited for the rest of his crew to come in and help.
5 tackles already on the day for the leader of this San Diego defense. Let's see if he can make another play. I form here, assuredly going to be another one up the middle. And it is. Reno gets it, dives, he's in!
Oh!
Touchdown, Philadelphia. They're Cougars, but they're flying high on that play. And man, what a way to bounce back after a rough first couple drives.
I mean, you can't give a team on the road enough credit for driving down the field like that after being scored on and was able to put a touchdown on the board. I mean, that offensive line is just, they're hitting on every every time they're asked to execute, they're doing what they need to do. They're taking advantage of that defensive line, and here they are, getting a 4-point lead on the road. You can't ask for anything more from that offensive line.
Absolutely not. 12 plays, 58 yards on that drive. The most full play drive of the entire game up to this point. The previous was that 10-play drive from San Diego that got their initial field goal on the board. That was 2 seconds shy of a 5-minute drive there for the Cougars.
Yeah, lots of runs, but when we saw Thomas Rahman pass, it was crazy accurate and aggressive as well. And they had some big gains on his passing, and just enough to put the defense on their heels and just let that high-octane offensive line do what they need to do.
San Diego hoping to get some more than 3 points this time, their last 2 drives, ending in field goals. But field goals don't win games. That one's going to be a handoff to the right-hand side. They'll call it 3 after the hard hit.
I mean, it's the last time they had the ball, they were effective going down the field. They just need to, stick, with what they know works best and just execute. I mean, that's the key. They got, especially that offensive line. They've got to do what their counterparts on San Diego did. Philly did.
Another run. Doesn't gain much at all. The big play there made by Dwayne Rudd. Speaking of Dwayne Rudd, let's talk about this Philly defense. Fregley Rahman, Warren Sapp, Carlos Carter, and Simeon Rice. Their defensive line. The aforementioned Dwayne Rudd, Derek Brooks, and Shelton Quarles, as well as Keith Burns, fill out their linebackers. A bunch to the top here for Lovelace. Moves out to the left a little bit. Still a bunch of time. Fires it over the middle. Right over the hands of an outstretched defender. Meets Derek Alexander in the open spot.
So for the GMs out there in the SFL, what you're looking for a quarterback in this situation is how they handle themselves in the pocket on a key 3rd down there. And the pocket was starting to break down, and Lovelace just stood in there, went through his progressions, didn't look rattled at all, and was able to do a very accurate pass to Alexander for the 1st down.
Past the 50 now for San Diego. Run up the middle here. Trying to get momentum in their favor. Not going to get much of it there. Michael Bennett gets brought down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, I mean, so far, San Diego's offense is, they're gaining on every play. They just got to keep building on it and executing. Again, key is on that offensive line.
4-3 here for Philly, running it to the right-hand side. That's another gain of 2. Hard-hitting run there by Klein Saucer.
So here's Lovelace on 3rd and 6. It's looking like a pass down here. The offensive line's got to give him enough time to go through his progressions. They got 3 wideouts here, and some of these plays are probably going to be deep. So the essence here is time for the quarterback to go through what he needs to do to hit an accurate pass.
Lovelace going to throw again, motioning to the right. Fires it back over to the left, and Randy Moss drops it. hits both of his hands as he turns back for the ball. You got to pull that in, Charles.
Yeah, and rarely do you hear that sentence ever said. Randy Moss drops it. So, you know, hopefully we don't hear that a lot tonight.
Hope not. Here marches out Nick Murphy to punt this one off for San Diego. Their first drive of the day that hasn't resulted in points. That's only the second punt of the day, the first coming off of the first drive for Philadelphia, and both of them were 40-yard punts.
Yeah, when you look at the quarterback's performance so far, I know it's early in the game. We got two minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half, but Rahman and Lovelace are almost, exactly 50% completions for both of them, and their QBR is both at around 72%. Excuse me, 72.
There's similar games here, and very run-heavy attacks for both of these teams. Like nickel here for the Aces. Reno gets the handoff up the middle, fights ahead for a gain of 6. Very tough running there.
Yeah, I mean, your running game is doing what they need to do when you're looking at a 2nd and 4. I mean, anything +5 on first down is money when you're running it.
Absolutely. That field position there for San Diego, I believe the worst of their day. They've been having pretty good field position all night up to this point. Another eye for him here, another run look. It will be. Thomas Jones gets stopped. That's 1 yard short of that first down.
I didn't see who made the tackle on that one, but I thought we were looking at a big gain there. But whoever that was on defense was able to shut it down quickly, react to the ball, and looking at 3rd and 1.
Right before the snap, we will see the 2-minute warning, so they're going to have to go back and talk things out in the small intermediate break we have here.
I would just say stick to what they're doing. I mean, no rush. Just stick to your game plan. You've been executing it perfectly, and you have plenty of time to put some points on the board.
Does look like the same exact look from both teams that we did see before the 2-minute break. Let's see which team will stop the other. Breeze meets him in the backfield. Huge play from their leader. And that was Michael Reno who got dragged down at the end of it.
And Horizon Breeze, another big play by Horizon Breeze, just to shoot past that offensive line that's been playing so well tonight. Not on that play. Horizon Breeze just took over and stopped that drive, and now we're looking at San Diego getting the ball 1 minute and 30 seconds, and they've got enough time to put points on the board.
They'll call it the 29 where we'll start this drive. Nate Burleson, the return man again for that punt. Let's talk about the rest of Philly's defense here while we have a moment. Their corners, Chris Britton Jr., Brian Kelly, and Rondé Barber. Their safeties, John Lynch, John Howell, and Jermaine Phillips. Matched up with the legs as well, Martin Gramatica and Tom Tupa will be doing their kicking today. We'll see some motion there from Burleson. Very soft coverage to the top side of your screen there. Will be a pass. Lovelace surveys, ton of time. Over the middle, that one's caught. No contention at all, really. That time, Randy Moss pulls it in.
And it was the pocket was just, it was like the Great Wall of China there. Plenty of time, great, pass blocking there by the offensive line. And Randy Moss found an opening in the coverage downfield. We're looking at a big gain with 1 minute and 17 left.
Coming out pass heavy in this one with the limited time they have, I'd imagine. Take a look here. They will run it this time. Joe Duncan gets a gain of 6 there, and they'll call their first timeout.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing here on this 2-minute offense by San Diego, and let's just see if they can, keep their foot on the pedal and execute.
Hoping to keep things quick, like you said. You got to hurry. Already past midfield, though. Things are looking good if you're an Aces fan. Quick pass right out of the gate. One of the defenders able to get a hand on it, though. That's Rondé Barber awarded the pass deflection.
Yeah, and that was the key there. Just a short drop. I like the fact that they went with a short drop with a quick release of the ball, but the defenders knew it, and that defensive back just upset it at the go, and there was no way that play was going to go off.
Very similar look here. Nickel from San Diego again. Expecting pass. They will get it. Lovelace drops back over the middle once again. It's Moss again. Lovelace and Moss over the middle is causing problems.
And not an exotic route there by Moss. Just ran in the middle, found the opening in the coverage, and Lovelace, just stood calm in the pocket. What you're looking for a pro quarterback, and executed.
Offset single back here against the nickel. Two receivers to the bottom of the screen. Lovelace will throw, fires it to the right side. The out route is executed perfectly. That one is caught a few yards short of that first down marker, and that's another timeout for the Aces.
Yeah, nice route by Derek Alexander. Nice. Looks like they've practiced that a couple times because it just was so crisp from the snap to the pass and to the route. I mean, it just looked like they've done this before.
Hoping to make sure they get the first down here in I form. Jeff Kostrewa gets kicked over to the top side of your screen, making it that the strong side. Time ticking away. Lovelace fires to the fullback. They'll call it a fumble. Philly picks it up. And that was going the other way. Oh, man. Chris
they got to look at
Jr.
this one. I don't think that was a fumble at all.
I completely agree, Charles. I think that was the wrong call. We'll get another look here. Looks like he throws it right there. Yeah, I think that's forward by a yard or two. I think you're right.
We'll see. I mean, I've been wrong before, but they review it. Come on, there you go.
There we go. They won't even have to challenge it. The booth will review it. And, yeah, I mean, the fullback there, Joe Duncan, wasn't even looking at the ball, Charles. You got to have your head on a swivel on a route there.
I mean,
wasn't the greatest throw.
Let's see what kind of pressure. I mean, it didn't look like there was a ton of pressure.
Yeah. I mean, the ball was in front of him a little bit, but, I mean, if you're running that route, your head should be there and you should be ready to cut up field. But like we had said, I think that the play will be overturned.
Let's see. There you go.
There we go. San Diego cheers as they get the ball back in their hands, at least to get a field goal at the very least, hopefully. 3rd and 2 here. Plenty of opportunities still to score.
Yeah, you got to shake that one off there, San Diego.
Let's see, I form again here. That's 6 on the line there for Philly, and 2 linebackers playing very tight. Handoff up the middle. Joe Duncan fights off a tackle, meets a pair of defenders at the 10-yard line, and they bring him down. San Diego will hurry up. Just under 40 seconds on the clock. Philly's defense drops back. San Diego throws. Lovelace fires to the right side. That's caught just a yard short. Counting down under 30 now as San Diego hopes to keep the momentum up. They spike it. Whew.
I tell you what, that run, the 2 plays ago, that was outstanding. I mean, that just was a statement run by the offensive line. They've had everybody they could possibly put on the defensive line to try and stop that run. And the offensive line just executed and put a great hole there for the running back.
They controlled the pace for sure. Let's see if San Diego can get their first touchdown. They'll pass out of this look. On the drag, it's dropped. Oh, Moss is not able to put it in. The very tight coverage from Quarles there, able to cause the incompletion.
Look, I don't hate that route by Moss. I mean, just maybe, get it out there a little earlier. But it looked like he had enough to bring it in. Just a lot of pressure there by the defense.
It's going to be the 3rd field goal of the day for Bill Gramatica on that 11-play, 70-yard drive that only lasted a minute and 12 seconds. Charles, when it comes to those quick drives, that was about as good as it gets. You're getting 11 plays out of a minute and 12 seconds. That's impressive.
I'm just amazed at both of these offensive lines. I mean, they are just handling the defensive line. I mean, if I was the DC on both sides, man, in the locker room, I would be throwing things. You got to stop looking like children out there and step up and, handle it.
Yeah, I mean, like you had said, a play that I keep going back to in my mind was that run to set up one of the goal line looks for San Diego when there was all those defenders right at the line. They still ran it, and they still had a huge hole. I mean, that you got to plug some holes better than that if you're a defensive lineman.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that right there is just that is frustrating for a defense.
Yeah. Offset single back here for Philly. They've pitched it out of this a few times. They won't. They'll run it right up the middle. Reno is going to get met by Breeze after 6 yards, and they're happy to let the time go out with the lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's smart. I mean, you're up by 1 on the road. Just take it into the locker room and figure out what you're going to do next.
And they will. Philadelphia has a narrow lead over these Aces, 10-9. Charles, this has been a very run-heavy first half from both teams here. I'm curious, maybe who did it better? Whose offense do you think has been looking a little bit better? And, whose defense do you think has been able to really show up?
I don't know which defense has shown up. I mean, I think that question is still out there here for the second half, but
Still up for
both of these quarterbacks, between Rahman and Lovelace, it's almost like, carbon copy stats between the two of them. They're both 50% in completion percentage, 6 yards and some chains and yards per attempt, and they're around 71 for QBR. I mean, rushing, I would say the edge goes to Philadelphia just from total yards. But these offensive line, both teams need to figure out an answer on how to take charge against those offensive lines, because so far they are just dominating and having their way, and there has to be an answer. I don't know what you need to do, blitz more, whatever, bring a safety down the box, something, but offensive line so far is winning on both sides.
Completely agree with you there, my friend. San Diego will have the ball first. Solid return brings them out to the 37. Welcome back for the half, everybody. I'm DJ Kilgannon. With me in the booth is the Charles Doherty. Thank you for our statisticians this evening, Eddie Gage, as well as Justin Reside. Thank you for our executive producer for putting on a great show this evening, Alex West, J.W. Hartshorn, and Ellie Diomas as well in the stat truck, our executive deputy commissioner and our commissioner of the year of the SFLm. Happy to have you all, as well as the fans. Thank you so much for tuning in for this Tuesday evening. Another great game, as we've been seeing early on in this young season. Joe Duncan, a gain of 2 before he's brought down hard.
That's the type of run that you're going across the line. You've got to have a great first step, and normally fullbacks don't have it, and they only got 2. But if they go to that a lot, that could be a problem.
Another run here. Duncan gets skinny between defenders, and he brings it down to the 1.
And I mean, I think Joe Duncan probably prefers those straight-on runs other than those cross offensive line runs like that, because he just lowers his shoulder and is able to make some impact and some positive yardage.
Completely agree with you there. Attack the point of attack, but don't pitch it to the outside with him. Duncan, so much room to run. Great blocking from the offense there. But Joe Duncan, a stiff arm, gets him well past that first down marker.
I mean, across the board, offensive line, great blocking. Wide receivers, great blocking. Tight ends, great blocking. And then you just give it to your star fullback and just knows what to do. Smart runner, just has that field vision, is able to find. Not only he knows what gap he needs to go in, but after that, it's just your execution on Duncan's part.
High form here for the Aces up the middle. Flying saucer will fight past the first tackler, and he'll make it inches there on that run.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line is just killing it. Again, they got to do something to disrupt the timing, the flow of the offense.
Another high form look for the Aces. Philadelphia expecting a run all the way. A ton of people in their box. They'll kick over Hunter Goodwin to make the strong side to Lovelace's left. They'll run it that way as well, but right up the middle, that's Joe Duncan again. I mean, they're just owning the offensive line fight in between the tackles, Charles.
Definitely. I mean, you got to, Carter, Rice, Rahman, Sapp on that line. They've got to step it up and shut it down.
Carlos Carter, he's been here since June 4th. He's an experienced player when it comes to rookies here in the SFLm. Duncan gains ahead for 3, and that was a tough run, but I mean, again, staying up to script. If you can get 3 yards like that on first down, things aren't looking bad.
Yeah, you got Duncan's averaging 5.1 on 18 attempts, and Bennett is averaging almost 12 on 4. So you need to find an answer defense.
Another one here. Duncan breaks a tackle, barrels over the other, and he is well within the SFLm red zone.
I mean, at this point, DJ, you don't need to be exotic. I mean, you could just do simple, downfield runs for Duncan and Bennett, and it's been money. I mean, that offensive line is just, they put something in their Wheaties this morning, and they're just, blowing off the line right on the snap and just taking advantage of it and putting great holds there for their running backs to execute.
Past the century mark in back-to-back games for Joe Duncan. I'll give the ball to Michael Bennett that time, and that's by far his shortest run of the ball game. Before that one was averaging 12 yards per carry, but they'll have another retry on 2nd and 10.
I mean, Rudd, the outside linebacker needed to do that, kind of slow down a little bit of the momentum and let them settle in and see what they can do to stop this offense of San Diego.
Lovelace will roll out to the left side, fires it across her body over the middle. That one's caught by Burleson. His first target results in a big catch, making it 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and short. Plenty of options here for San Diego. And I mean, I think you and I probably agree that, why not just dunk more dunking up the middle?
Yep. I would be shocked if they did anything else. They'll call it 8 in the box here for Philadelphia. 3 linebackers in between the tackles. You got to make this stop. Lovelace surveys. Right up the middle. Where else? Duncan gets met in the backfield. Derek Brooks with a devastating hit. And, oh, man, Simeon Rice gets hurt on the other side of the line.
That was a big play. I mean, you're keeping it to 3. I mean, you're getting points potentially on you, but, 7 points is a big deal. And, you got to settle in there. They did when they needed to. I think it started off with that tackle by, I think that was Burns on the previous play.
11th play of the drive here going to be this kick for San Diego. Bill Gramatica hoping to make it a 4-for-4 day on this 20-yard kick. It's up. It's good. No doubt the whole way. And, man, has he had an easy day, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, that is a wedge shot there, right?
Yeah.
Without any weather conditions, beautiful San Diego.
Oh, absolutely. Partly sunny here. Not hot enough for sunblock, but still cool enough for football. It's whenever you have that field position for kicking as well, you can't ask for anything much better. They've been in the red zone every time they've made a kick. Nice return there from Joe Juravicius, and that's also credit to Philadelphia's defensive line, or their whole defensive unit as well, right? They've bent as far as they could possibly bend, but they still haven't broken after 4 straight red zone trips.
Yeah, definitely. And, they settle down when it gets closer in the red zone, but they got to figure out a way to not put themselves in that position, because it's only a matter of time where, the cradle's going to break.
Just make that stop sooner, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Nickel look here for the Aces. Reno bounces off a tackle, and he gets they'll call it 6. Seemed like not enough for me, as he fought really hard for that run.
It didn't look like it was going to be a big run on the ground there, but Reno was able to bounce off and add a couple more to the end of that, and we're looking at a 2nd and manageable.
Reno having a very solid day as well. Only his longest only being 9, but he's averaging over 4 yards per carry, as well as Thomas Jones. Speaking of, he gets another run and a first down.
It was a nice run. And again, I've been saying the offensive line all night. Another instance there where that offensive line is just doing everything they can to help their halfback out.
It's bunched to the bottom side of the formation here. Scratch that. They'll send Dilger over and make it a pair of receivers to each side for Rahman. Horizon Breeze in the middle of this defense. Don't throw it his way. Reno, they won't have to worry about that. They'll just give it to their bell cow, and he gets 7.
It's got to be frustrating for that defense. I mean, it starts off at the snap. offensive line just takes over, makes a huge hole. The running back goes up the middle, and it's up for the linebackers to try and stop him. And at that time, the halfback has so much momentum, it's hard to bring him down.
Another run and another first down. He's met by Horizon Breeze, but well after the first down marker.
I mean, so far, Philadelphia has answered to that, positive drive there by San Diego. I mean, that's what you're looking for Philly on the road. You're answering, you're driving, you're successful. You got a positive gain on every play.
Pass from Rahman here, a ton of time over the middle. That one's caught. Oh, and a little bit of space, but he gets dragged down right before he gets to take advantage of it. Keyshawn Johnson gets his first catch.
I was talking about the accuracy of Rahman last week when we did the game. He shows it right there, just right where the wide receiver can catch it in stride, right in his midst, doesn't have to do a lot of effort to catch it, and you're looking at a big gain.
Brian Russell with the touchdown saving tackle there as Johnson almost had daylight. They'll pass again, though. 3.5 minutes left in this third quarter. A motion over Juravicius to make it 3 to Rahman's right. Great blocking. Attacks that right-hand side, and King Alexander nearly made a great catch, but Brian Williams gets a hand in there and forces the incompletion.
Yeah, Brian Williams there, plus 3 of his friends. I mean, that was another. Talked about Rahman being a gambler on that passing, and that was a perfect example of it on that last play.
Philly lost a gunslinger in Mike Skamizniak and gained another in Thomas Rahman. Another pass here for Rahman and company. Plenty of time, rolls out to the right, fires that way as well. Great play there. That was Ken Irvin who got his hand in there. Terry Money, the target.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. I mean, from the snap, good coverage. And, you looked at the quarterback had time in the pocket, but that's because they didn't put a lot of pressure on, and they decided they were going to focus on downfield coverage, and they executed it perfectly.
Single back look here for the Cougars. King Alexander making it a pair of receivers to each side after the motion. Another dime look. Breeze blitz though. Clear path to Thomas Rahman, and he gets pay dirt.
And who else? Horizon Breeze, who's been showing all night why he's the leader of the defense. We were talking about that last play where they kind of settled in downfield coverage. Not on this one. Bring in the inside linebacker and just, shut it down right through the middle. The blocking of the offensive line we've been bragging on for the Cougars all night. Not so much on that play. Breeze read it, found an opening, and just attacked the quarterback.
And that sack pushes them out of field goal range. Wow, what a play there from Horizon Breeze. That couldn't have been any better for them. Oh, a diving attempt. Oh, man. Rondé Barber dives to stop that one. They will call it a touchback, though. Man, that was a huge play. He did a great job of not showing the blitz as well. He had me fooled and then just shot through the gap so quickly. I can only imagine the face of fear on Thomas Rahman as he saw it develop. But their defense stands tall, and their offense going to have another look at things. Lovelace stays strong in the pocket. Great blocking. Able to connect with Burleson that time for his second catch.
Stays calm in the pocket, like you said, but the offensive coordinator had a smart route, a drag route across the middle there, just so the quarterback Lovelace could dump it off and get a decent gain on first down.
Out to the 30 now for San Diego. Lovelace has had a very solid day, just over 50% for completion. Another pass here, Lovelace to that left side. The hit is made just as the ball gets there. Randy Moss unable to pull it in.
I've seen a lot of those quick dropbacks by the quarterback. I think they're expecting the pressure by Philadelphia, but that last one was well covered downfield by the defensive back for Philadelphia.
Was Chris Britton Jr. able to make the hit there just in the nick of time. Offset I hear pitch to Duncan. He's going to fight past some and gain, looks like 8 there. They'll call it 3rd and 2.
When you're running a pitch play like that and you're getting 8 yards, I mean, you just got to tip your cap to the blocking of the the receivers and the tight ends on the outside there, because it's not going to work without that block. I mean, the offensive line, it's a given. They got to know what they need to do, but you're asking a lot for those wide receivers.
Yeah, sure are. Up the middle again. Duncan not even touched until he's well past the first down marker, continuing what's been a great day for him.
Of course, I mean he's been money every time he touches the ball. I mean he's at 5.2 per carry. He's over the 100-yard mark. You just keep feeding that man.
Nickel look here for Philly. Looks like they're in man. Lovelace surveys a ton of time to the right side. Not even a question. Pulls it in uncontested and goes well downfield. Derek Alexander, another big catch.
How did he get so wide open? Let's hopefully we get a replay here. Yeah, you don't see what happened. It looked like he maybe did a fade route there, but you know, number 25, you know, for defense, Brian Kelly, just was nowhere near and had to react quickly.
Yeah, just completely. I mean, so I get giving cushion to try and make a play on the ball, but not that much cushion. Offset single back here. It's a pair of receivers to each side for Lovelace, and they'll hand that across body. They'll gain 3 on that run from Doug Chapman, his first run of the day.
I'm just surprised we're only looking at 22 points on the board. I mean, because both of these offenses has shown a lot of effective, you know, plays tonight, but for some reason, I mean, I'm just expecting more points on the board.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. It's felt very lackluster at times for both of these offenses and defenses, I must say. Moss in motion there. He's the only receiver out there. Duncan, though, doesn't need any. A great block from him. The stiff arm, they'll call that a first down, but he looked short.
I mean, that right there is just a snapshot of the running game plan for San Diego all night. I mean, that just encapsulates the effectiveness they've shown on the field.
And that is the end of your third quarter. In only a quarter of play, we've only seen 3 points. San Diego tilts the odds in their favor with the 2-point lead, 12-10 over the Cougars.
Yeah, we've got a pretty exciting fourth quarter lined up, my friend.
We do. We've seen that a lot. All these games seem to spark up in the fourth quarter and just get very exciting. So let's see if this fits that pattern. Lovelace will survey. Very heavy set here for Philly. They have 8 in their box, and their corners are playing very shallow as well. That's movement from Hunter Goodwin, switching the strong side. Right up the middle, they give it to Duncan, and he gets met right at the line. There we go. That's what they've been looking for all night, Charles.
Yeah, that's what they need. That's what a defensive line needs. Yep. You know, they get pumped up, you know, start smelling some blood, start to get a little excited there and start, you know, laying down the pain.
One thing we hadn't touched on either, they had an injury from one of their defensive linemen earlier, so that doesn't help at all. Run up the middle,
there you go.
And it's another stop. 3rd and goal coming up as Michael Bennett gets stopped. I think he gained a little bit of yardage, though.
Yeah, but Brooks was in there. You know, they were gang tackling. They're, you know, swarming to the ball. That's what you need here on goal line situation.
Let's see if they go to it again. Same look as we've seen on the last 2 plays. San Diego confident in their attack. They pitch it this time. Duncan gets met, and he's stopped.
Wow.
Philadelphia continues to bend, but not break. Dwayne Rudd makes the tackle.
I mean, that's amazing. That's a big-time play. I mean, you know, 3 points is huge at this point. They're only up by 2, and keeping them away from a touchdown is huge.
It was, and Charles, I got to give them credit. Because despite giving up points on every drive except, I believe, 1, they still haven't allowed a touchdown. That is just sensational goal line defense.
Definitely. It's definitely. And they're setting their offense up here for success, and that's what you need here in the fourth quarter.
5 straight field goals from Bill Gramatica to extend the lead for San Diego. That's 5 now. Will be called at the 32 to start this drive. And Philadelphia, their last 2 drives didn't really go the way they want. They've been in a little bit of a scoring drought as of late. They had the punt there in the second quarter. And then they had a drive that ended the half, and then another punt in the third. Hoping to get a touchdown here, and that would give them the lead, or at least some sort of points. Rahman will throw. Rolls out to his left. Fires that way as well. It's caught. Nice way to start the drive, nearing the 50 already for King Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, that was big for King Alexander and also big for Thomas Rahman, the quarterback. He started to cool off a little bit in the third quarter, and, he was kind of stride for stride with Lovelace from a stat standpoint, but it was starting to fall apart a little bit in the third quarter. But now that pass right there is something to build on.
Absolutely agreed with you there. He's still at 50% completion. So not a bad day, but they will go back to the ground game. Jones fights ahead, and he gains 8 every time he gets the ball, Charles. It seems like magic happens.
Yeah, I mean, and he made something from nothing. I thought he was going to be brought down for boring 3. Just able to keep churning those legs, use power, and get 8 out of it.
Another rifle in here. Very close to the line is the linebackers of San Diego, but he meets one of the corners in the backfield. They'll say Michael Reno gained a yard, though. But Brian Russell getting involved in the run stop there.
The strong safety came in close to the line there to help out in the running game, and boy, did he ever.
He had a huge touchdown-saving tackle on one of their previous drives, and another big play there, stopping the first down. They just need a yard, though. They will run it again. Thomas Jones bounces it to the outside, breaks a tackle, fights for a little bit more, but more importantly, he gets the first down.
Yeah, huge run there by Jones. He'll get the first down. 7 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time for Philadelphia just to keep that drive alive.
Another single back look here. They'll run it up the middle again. I love the decision. Reno gets skinny, but then meets Russell after a gain of 3.
We're getting to a part here where Thomas Rahman's going to have to pass again, and needs to build on, a little bit on that success from that opening pass in the fourth quarter.
You said it on 2nd and 7 earlier. Let's see some play action here. Air it out a little bit. Keep them on their toes. It looks like they're just going run defense every time, and it's working. They'll have to again. Jones gets the look, fights through a tackle, and then gets buried from the side, but he gets the first down again.
We've been bragging. Been bragging on the blocking, and it started out well. But after that, it was just pure Thomas Jones. Just effort and power and athleticism to get that first down.
Pretty deep nickel once again here for San Diego. Let's see if they go with this cross-body handoff again. Right up the middle. Reno gets met. That's only 2.
I think this is the time. I don't think we've seen it from either side, but this is the time I think you're safe dialing it up a little bit on defense. We haven't seen that.
Let's see some pressure.
Yeah.
This would be the play to do it. Empty for Philly. They have an extra blocker to their left, but he goes out for a pass. Plenty of time, and he gets met! Storm Johnson. They didn't bring any extra defenders, Charles. But one of their D linemen got there, and that was their defensive tackle.
All it took was 4, DJ. It just took 4. Right. 4 against 5. And San Diego was all aces on that one.
I love it. Dev tackle from the dev team, Chicago Warrior, Storm Johnson with the play there. Never seen 350 pounds move that quickly. Going to need it again. Rahman rolls out to the right, fires back, over to the left. Picked off by San Diego! What a play by Brian Williams.
They did an exotic stunt there at the snap. And I don't know if that threw the quarterback off, but threw into double coverage.
Oh, what a catch.
Huge mistake. Ooh. And Brian Williams, like you said, made a great athletic catch there on the goal line, keeping them from scoring.
That was the best catch of the day from either team, and it was from a corner. But Philadelphia has a huge opportunity here. San Diego on the 2-yard line. But with how they've been running the ball, it's going to be hard to stop. Just don't pitch it. Saw that in a previous game, outside handoff to Duncan. That's going to result in a gain of 2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't want to. You've shown the ability to run the ball, and the offensive line has shown the ability to make those holes open for the halfbacks and fullbacks. Just got to keep doing that. Don't try and roll the dice too much.
up the middle again. Duncan
Wow.
fights ahead for the first down, and if there was any question of whether or not they would get safetied, I think Joe Duncan has answered it.
That was a huge play for the offense for San Diego. Deep in their own territory, they needed some breathing room, and now they got it after that solid run by Duncan.
Looks like another run here, I for them. They just need time off the clock. They won't. They'll pass. Lovelace to the right, nearly picked off. Oh,
Dangerous.
man, that would have been a huge play from Dwayne Rush.
Oh, that was dangerous. And both of these quarterbacks, I mean, we were bragging on them all night for their, completion percentage, but they've both dropped down. I mean, Lovelace now's at 55% and Rauman's at 44. Late in the game, the defense has kind of figured it out and was able to shut it down.
6 down linemen here for Philadelphia. They're expecting run all the way. No one really follows Randy Moss, the motion man there. Lovelace will survey and will pass to the right-hand side. Just led him a little bit too much. I love the play call there, though, to Derek Alexander.
Yeah, they had him. I mean, he was open, but holy smokes. Billy committed to the run on that one. He had like 15 players on the line.
They went to that same play earlier, Charles, and it was money, the same exact one. Lovelace just needs to wrangle that in a little bit. Looks like they're expecting pass a lot more here in dime look. Lovelace will throw. Plenty of time over the middle. Caught! Great catching coverage there, just as the safety was getting there.
I mean, that was a body blow right there. Huge. They were in a great position, Philadelphia, for getting the ball back there. All they needed to do was, kind of stay in their lane, execute, but they were able to let Alexander slip through the coverage and get that huge first down catch.
Offset eye here for the Aces. Assuming they're going to go back to this run game and chew clock away, they will. To the right side, that's Bennett. He gains 4.
And to your point, why not? Run, run, run. I mean, that's been the best part of their offense tonight. The passing game has been, kind of a little bit of a roller coaster on both sides. So why not, go to what kind of brought you here?
4-3 versus the eye. A tale as old as time.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Movement from linebackers. Handoff to the right-hand side. Duncan brings it to 3rd and 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. I mean, that's not a bad position to be in. And all the pressure is on Philadelphia's defense here to see what they can do to slow down the San Diego drive here.
This is their 15th third down attempt of the day. They're over 50% at this point. This would be their 9th. Pitch to the outside. Duncan gets hit hard behind the line. Derek Brooks with another big play.
That was just angry. I mean, that's what you need to do.
Some frustration.
That's how you build momentum, my friend.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's how you stop momentum as well. Duncan got stopped in his tracks. As Nick Murphy comes out to punt again, the snap is low, but he punts it away all the same. And a great punt there. Philly fields it inside the 25.
Exactly,
and they'll get stopped at the 22.
I mean, Ryan Williams ran down there and just did his deed. That was huge. I mean, here we go. I mean, look, Philadelphia has shown a lot of good drives on offense, but what we haven't seen is a ton of back-to-back pass plays. Now they need to dial that up. Let's see if they can execute.
San Diego was able to execute before the half. Let's see if Philly can. They have the opportunity to win this game, but it's in the hands of Thomas Rahman and this offense. 5 seconds of play clock left, and they'll snap it right up the middle. It's Mike Reno with the run.
Sorry. The animal in me came out. I mean, that was a big stop right there. And
That was a good one.
yeah, they were going close to the 2-minute mark. Need to show some sense of urgency here.
Yeah, they sure do, and they're lollygagging a little bit. Waiting for the 2-minute warning maybe. Reno gets another look and gets stopped 3rd and 3.
I think that was Claiborne on the last 2 plays. I mean, we're going to the 2-minute mark, and here we go. Let's see what Rahman's got. Good, the GMs out there, they're looking at quarterbacks and see how they respond in situations like this.
Yep, and you got to have some urgency. Maybe the flair they need offensively is some pressure. Maybe they need the the clock blinking in the back of their head to get them going. But it looks like they're still going to play conservative, at least for now, with this run-heavy look. It's like 4-3 from San Diego. Reno gets it again, and he gets stopped behind the line. Claiborne makes a huge play.
Yeah, another big play by Claiborne. I mean, that was a head-scratcher, DJ. I mean, they're going for it here, but wow.
You got to. And it's another run. Oh, wow, Thomas Jones. Very risky call. Charles, wow, I didn't expect that run at all.
That's when you're putting all your chips on your offensive line, and they won.
They sure did. Usually the Aces are the one pushing all in, but Philly did that time, and it worked out in their favor.
A lot of effort and a lot of time for 3 yards.
That's absolutely right. The same bunch look going to come out against Dime of San Diego. They will pass this time. Rahman, time, throws it to the left, and it's pulled in one-handed. What a catch there. That's Keyshawn Johnson, his second target and his second catch.
All right, and Rahman just said, hey, you know, I hear you. Watch what I can do. And did on that one. Nice, accurate pass to Keyshawn Johnson down the lane, and looking at a big drive here for Philly.
These are the situations former Philly QB Mike Skamizniak lived in. Let's see if Thomas Rahman can fill those shoes. Moves to his left, gets hit as he throws. It's caught by Terry Money. He breaks a tackle and then gets hit hard inside the 30.
All right, we're seeing the passing game. All right, that's what we wanted to see, and that's when they needed to execute on it. So they're across the 50, and they're knocking at the door with 55 seconds left.
Arizona Scorpion, Terry Money's first catch of the ball game on his fourth target. Welcome to the game. Philadelphia going to go in empty here. They need some urgency right now, Charles. 40 seconds and time is ticking. Rahman surveys over the middle. They'll take the conservative throw and catch. They'll gain 7, though. And Joe Juravicius will be dragged down. And they're still going to let time tick away.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean,
me either. They must be confident. Yep. 7 for 12 on the day, 120 passing yards for Rahman. Run up the middle here. That gets stopped. Horizon Breeze with the play, and now we'll see a timeout.
Another huge play by Breeze, leading that defense tonight.
I don't know what's going on with the play calling here for Philly, but
that's a head scratcher.
That's not what we need to do.
Yep, you got a lot of real estate to cover.
Empty look here for Philly. Time has stopped, though. They have a little bit of time to breathe. That's Dilger going in motion. There's going to be a down tight end on the right side of the formation here. Rahman surveys a ton of time over the middle. That one is incomplete. Tried to find King Alexander in double coverage, falling backwards, and that one was incomplete.
Yeah, that was a battle in the end zone there, and I thought for a second there we were going to see a flag, because normally when you see them doing the tango, you expect to see some laundry on the field.
Here we go, all or nothing. Philly needs it all here. 4th and 2. No motion over Dilger again. That is 4 to Rahman's left. Looks like San Diego is manned up all the way. Let's see if Rahman can complete one. Rahman drops back, fires to the right. That one's caught.
Huge.
King Alexander catches it. Timeout with 7 seconds to go.
We got one play, and what a game. I mean,
wow.
Holy smokes. They did not put any pressure on that quarterback, and we didn't see any of that really at all tonight. And I think that, this could be the thing that if they lose the game, that could be the thing that San Diego is killing herself about.
There will be another pass, and that's over the middle. Caught it! Touchdown, Joe Juravicius and the Cougars! Oh, the patient philosophy for the Cougars stands tall. One play, 7 seconds remaining. Touchdown. Oh, man.
That's a heartbreaker for San Diego, and it's great for Philly on the road. Show what Rahman can do. I mean, they sat back. The defense sat back and let the ball come to them, and eventually it came to them, and it was in the end zone, and they wound up being down by 3 with 4 seconds left. And this is looks like Philly's gonna win on the road.
They go for it to make it a 3-point ball game. Just in the event something crazy happens, San Diego can't kick a field goal and take the lead. But I don't think they need to do that. 4 seconds to go. Unless they let this go into the end zone, this could be the final play of the ball game here for the Aces. That is time, and that is ball game. Philadelphia storms across the country and takes a win from the West Coast.
I mean, I have to. I've been bragging on both of these offensive lines all night. But Rahman has. I mean, we've taken some jabs at Rahman tonight, seeing what he could do for passing. And in the fourth quarter, he showed us. He went from, what were we talking about, 60 QBR. Now he's up at 81, 60% completion, 1 touchdown. He was able to shake off that interception. And, that's what you're looking for in a quarterback when you get, slugged in the face and, you got blood coming out. You're able to react and, and succeed. And Rahman did that. And, on the flip side, if you're the defensive coordinator for San Diego, you got to be a little frustrated that you're not able to put the pressure on the quarterback and give Rahman the time he needed to make you pay for it.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Charles. Every player of the game I had in mind was for that San Diego side of the football. But with that last-second score for Philadelphia, man, I feel like it's a layup to say that their offensive line deserves it, and they do.
I agree. I agree. 100%. 110%.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with a last-second score from the Philadelphia Cougars, they take the lead 18-5 to win this one in sunny San Diego. Ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, please hit that like button. I was DJ Kilgannon, and with me has been Charles Doherty. Say a big thank you to Alex West, our producer, Ellie Diomas, and J.W. Hartshorn, our commissioner and deputy commissioner, our statisticians, Justin Reside and Eddie Gage. We wish you all a good night. We'll see you later on for the next game.